Hello and welcome to the in-depth series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the topic which has taken the center stage at COP28 Climate Summit which happened in Dubai, and the topic is unabated fossil fuel. What does it mean? So the points of discussion is first about the news, then what is unabated fossil fuel, about the carbon capture and storage technology, how beneficial is the CCS technology, about COP28 net zero targets, and prelims MCQ. Topic is of relevance from general studies paper 3, that is environment and ecology. You should be able to know about what is unabated fossil fuels, what is fossil fuels, about the carbon capture and storage technology, and also about the net zero targets. The news talks about what does unabated fossil fuels mean. This is the first part. And can carbon capture help achieve net zero? This is the second part, that is the carbon capture. So it is talking about fossil fuel in one respect, and then a technology which helps in containing the carbon dioxide and the greenhouse gases, and is a technology that is the carbon capture and storage technology. It is saying that can this technology help in achieving the net zero target of net zero target. And what is the net zero target of India? Any guesses? The year, that is 2070. So the COP28 Climate Summit, the phrase that has taken the center stage is unabated fossil fuel. So this phrase was making noise all the time in the when COP28 was taking place. And then the latest draft of a political climate agreement. So a potential climate agreement that has happened, the latest draft at the meeting, and the draft mentions about rapidly phasing down unabated coal. Rapidly, it means at a very faster pace. Then the phrase is inextricably tied to carbon capture and storage technology, and it has been said that to phase out fossil fuels, a technology that is the carbon capture and storage technology, these two terms goes hand in hand. They cannot be separated from one another, because the carbon capture and storage technology helps in phasing out the fossil fuels, and it helps in phasing out the carbon dioxide, it helps in lowering down the greenhouse gases, and this is the technology which will help in containing the carbon dioxide. About unabated fossil fuels. So what is the meaning of the word unabated fossil fuels? That has come to news in COP28. So internationally there is no explicit definition about the term unabated fossil fuels. So in COP28, the unabated fossil fuel means that it does nothing to reduce the CO2, that is carbon dioxide, and other greenhouse gases that are released from the burning of coal, oil and natural gas. It means the carbon dioxide or the greenhouse gases which comes to the environment because of the burning of the fossil fuels, nothing is being done to contain them. So that is what unabated fossil fuel means in COP28. Let me just tell you that no international definitions of this phrase is there. This is the definition which has come out from COP28, that doing nothing to reduce the CO2 and other greenhouse gases that are released from the burning of the fossil fuels. And then if this is unabated, what does the term abated or abatement means? It means attempts made to decrease the release of polluting substances to an acceptable level. It means unabatement means that no efforts are being made. Abatement means efforts are being made to reduce the greenhouse gases or the carbon dioxide which comes out from the burning of the fossil fuels. As two terms are opposite, so the meaning is also opposite, and no international definition is there for both the terms. So the discussions around fossil fuel abatement largely revolve around CCS technology, and whenever the term fossil fuels comes and the lowering down of the use of fossil fuels, there is a technology which is the carbon capture and storage technology, which basically comes and walks hand in hand with the burning of the fossil fuel, because it has been considered that this is the technology which will help in lowering down the carbon dioxide or the greenhouse gases in the environment. Then comes what is the carbon capture and storage technology. You need to be very careful and read the word carbon capture. It means that the carbon is being captured and storage. First the carbon is being captured and then the carbon is stored somewhere, and that is why it is said carbon capture and storage technology. And that is why it has been said that this technology will be very beneficial for lowering down the use of fossil fuels and also the carbon dioxide and the greenhouse gases which comes out of the burning of the fossil fuels. So it is a process designed to mitigate the emissions of carbon dioxide generated from industrial processes and the burning of fossil fuels. Mitigate, it is not saying that it will vanish. Mitigate, it means it will lower down the emissions. And the goal is to prevent a significant amount of carbon dioxide from entering the atmosphere. And then there are two approaches under the carbon capture and storage. That is, first is the point source carbon capture and storage, and second is the direct air capture. So in the point source carbon capture and storage technology, what happens is that the point at which the carbon dioxide is produced, at that point only the storage of the carbon dioxide is done, so that it does not go into the atmosphere. While on the other hand, direct air capture CCS technology means that the carbon dioxide is taken from the atmosphere and then stored. So point source is at the point of production only it is taken, and at direct air capture means when it is in the atmosphere, when it is in the environment, and then it is taken. So what happens is, first the carbon dioxide is taken or found out, then it is stored, and it is mostly stored at the storage sites, and these storage sites are underground, and the carbon dioxide is stored for years. It can go on for decades also, and that is why it is called carbon capture and storage. So the carbon dioxide is captured from the environment and then it is stored, and it has been said that this will help in the mitigation of the carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Then how beneficial are CCS? So it is a point of concern also, as there are environmentalists and scientists saying that it might not be very beneficial, while on the other hand there are reports that it helps, and it helps in the lowering down of the carbon dioxide. So let's see. So according to the International Energy Agency, it says that the power and industrial plants equipped with modern CCS technologies capture around 90% of the carbon dioxide. So if 90% of the carbon dioxide is captured, it means that it will help in the lowering down of the carbon dioxide. So this is beneficial. This is according to the International Energy Agency, IEA. Now according to the Institute for Energy Economics and Financial Analysis, it says that most of 13 flagship CCS projects worldwide either underperformed or failed entirely. Now these are two very different and contradictory statements. At one point of time, you are seeing in the first point that 90% of the CO2 is captured, while on the other hand you are seeing that the projects have underperformed and failed. So there is a contradiction. Then according to the climate analyst, it revealed that reliance on CCS could release an extra 86 billion tons of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere between 2020 and 2050, because it has been said that the speed with which the CCS technology will reduce or will mitigate the carbon dioxide which is present in the environment, that is not sufficient, because the production of the carbon dioxide is at a much faster pace as compared to the pace at which it is being reduced. And then the CCS technologies are also very expensive. You need a huge capital for them, and then you need a very skilled workforce also to run them. Then about the COP28. So COP28 has taken place in Dubai. So the deal struck at COP28, countries need to phase down unabated coal power. So it was said that the countries, they need to work towards decreasing the burning of the fossil fuels, and also they need to decrease the decrease the carbon dioxide content and the greenhouse gases content which gets inserted in the environment or the atmosphere. And the climate vulnerable countries and experts are concerned that would allow countries and fossil fuel companies to continue to burn coal as long as they capture the emissions and store it underground. And there is a huge concern among the environmentalists and scientists which is saying that if any country will use the CCS technology and will mitigate the carbon dioxide content, but they are worried that this might, even because they are able to mitigate because of the CCS technology, this might even promote them to burn more and more fossil fuels and generate more and more carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases in the environment. Just because they are able to use the CCS technology and is able to lower down on the carbon dioxide content does not mean that they can generate more greenhouse gases or the carbon dioxide. About the net zero target. So first of all, what is net zero? Net zero does not mean that a country will not produce carbon or the country will not produce greenhouse gases. It means that whatever production the country is doing, the country should be able to lower down or to mitigate or to reduce the same amount of carbon generation. That is what net zero is. Whatever is being produced should be cancelled by whatever is being absorbed. So the net zero target of India is year 2070, while for China it's 2060, US is 2050. Majority of the countries are doing it by 2050. Now in the end, a prelims MCQ, and you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section. This is a PYQ of the year 2017, as the question talks about, in the context of mitigating the impending global warming due to anthropogenic emissions of carbon dioxide, which of the following can be the potential sites for carbon sequestration? Potential sites. And we have to select the correct code. There are three options. First is abundant and uneconomic coal seams. Second, depleted oil and gas reservoirs. And third, subterranean deep saline formations. Codes are 1 and 2 only, 3 only, 1 and 3 only, 1, 2 and 3. I think you should be able to do this one, as it's a PYQ also. You people must have solved it while going through the PYQs. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.